Hello, I'm Lee from Brim the Horizon and this is Six-String Stories. I first ever started playing guitar, I think I was about 13 or 14, I can't really remember. But my dad used to play guitar, so there were always guitars around the house and stuff, and my uncle played a lot. So my dad put a guitar in my room and to try and I guess make me play guitar. Nice. And I was never bothered. And then I remember I asked if he could take it out of my room because my mates used to come around all the time and stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna get broke. So he took it out of the room, and then literally 2 months later I decided I wanted a guitar, so I had to spend my Christmas money, £80 in England, which is not much, on a guitar and stuff. So I bought that one for Christmas and started with some really cheap shit guitar. I think it was called a Falcon. It wasn't even a real brand, and it was like a Stratocaster copy, just really simple, just with the black scratch plate and stuff. So it was just a really cheap guitar. What inspired me most was because like I said, my dad always played a little bit. He always listened to a lot of cool bands like Eagles, Queen, and then Metallica and stuff. And it's when I heard S&M by Metallica, I remember hearing that, and that CD made me want to start playing and stuff. So I just started learning. And I remember I learned the start of Nothing Else Matters, because you don't have to do anything. It's just open strings, and I was just oh, this is not as hard as I thought. And then obviously moved on from there. And yeah, when I was about 14, I started going to a local pub that used to have. They used to do a weekly gig every week, and a bunch of us from where I lived used to go down and just go and watch whatever bands were on. We'd go every week. So I used to go and see that a lot, and that got me into wanting to play. And then that's pretty much where it came from. And then I used to go and watch a guy that I had guitar lessons off for a bit. It's, this old blues guy called Frank White in England. My dad always used to tell me how good he was, so I used to go with him to watch, and that guy got me into blues and all stuff like that. I would listen to classic rock and Metallica and stuff, and then you always kind of want to hear something heavy, don't you? So I remember getting into bands like Cannibal Corpse and At the Gates and Arch Enemy and stuff like that. And then from that, I remember I met some of the guys from the band, and they were all oh, have you ever listened to hardcore music? And I never really knew what that was. And then I got into bands like American Nightmare and stuff like that, Norma Jean, and yeah, just went from there, and it just got heavier, and then until it got to a stage where I was over listening to heavy music, and now I've gone back to the start, and all I listen to now is soft, chilled out music, because I suppose it's because we tour with a lot of loud bands and stuff. So James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett are the first people I proper wanted to play their things and wanted to play their licks and stuff. So obviously James Hetfield, and then I got more into David Gilmour and stuff like that as I got a bit older. I used to love Jimi Hendrix, and I'd all these tab books and stuff, and just used to learn all his songs and that. I think someone who's really done cool stuff with the guitar, but it's a bit random, is Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit. I think when you listen to, especially their earlier CDs and stuff, some of the weird techniques he used, and how he used the whammy bar and stuff was nothing like how anyone had done it before, and he made riffs out of tapping a whammy bar and stuff. So I think what he did for new metal and all that, I think he's a pretty big genius at writing riffs. He's a cool guy. We managed to meet him because for some reason he likes our band, and he came out to a couple of shows, and he's awesome. I'd say my playing style in Brim the Horizon is pretty it's probably pretty simple. I'm not shredding or doing anything that's insane, but I think I've found a style from playing in this band for so long now, and I've found what works for me and what works for the band. So I like a lot of single string riffs, because I use really thick strings, and to me it sounds really cool when you can get such a big sound out of just doing groovy one string riffs and stuff. So I think I developed my own kind of way of riffing on a couple of albums.
Nashville.